We're at the Hands exhibit in the lobby of Truett Hospital, the Baylor University Medical Center here in Dallas, Texas. The Hands exhibit are those of Dr. Adrian Flatt, who is the chief orthopedic surgeon here at Baylor University Medical Center and whose specialty is hand surgery. Many years ago, Dr. Flatt began to make molds of surgeon hands, and since then it has developed into hands of famous people from all around the world. The latest addition to this great display here at the Truett lobby is that of the hands of the master of the iron claw, our own Fritz Von Erich. Fortunately, we had an opportunity to talk to Dr. Flatt on how his hobby started and how it has progressed.
Well, I was tired of being told that I had typical surgeon's hands, so I cast a lot of my colleagues and visitors, and they're every shape and size. There really isn't a surgeon's hand as such. And then from that, we developed into the hands of people who've made their mark in the world in all sorts of professions: artists, wrestlers, politicians, businessmen.
Tell us about the process now. What is the mix you use? How do you mix it, and how do you set this thing to make a mold of the hands?
Well, we use the same material that dentists use to take impressions of kids' teeth. It's an alginate made out of seaweed, and you mix it up, the powder, with water. You have to be careful with the temperature, because if you have it too warm, then it sets too quickly. So you mix it up, and it looks just like oatmeal. And then you pour it into the box, and then you put the hand in very carefully so that you don't trap air bubbles under the palm. And then you try and persuade the subject to keep still while it sets.
How long?
It usually takes about 3, maybe 4 minutes. And then, because it's kind of rubbery when it dries, you can gradually withdraw the hand from the mold, and you can even do hands with rings on, and they don't destroy the mold. So then after it's set, we can then pour in the positive and make the bronzes you see in the exhibit.
Give us an idea of those others that you have done and the variety.
Musicians, a number of musicians.
Such as?
Van Cliburn, who is a Texan here. Then we've been actresses, actors.
Joan Woodward, Paul Newman, right here in a case together.
Newman right here. We've done a lot of athletes, basketball players, golfers, football players. One of the interesting groups are the original astronauts. There were 7 of them. And they all had to be, I think it's under 5'9" and weigh under 150 pounds to fit inside that miserable little capsule. And yet their hands are all sizes different. They're not all small hands at all. And proportionally, all hands are the same. They're just different in size.
The engineer did a good job when he designed it.
The engineer did a fine job. He really did.
Fritz, I enjoy the inscription on your picture here in the display of your hands to the master of the hands from the master of the iron claw. Certainly, your hands are what you really are as a famous wrestler.
Well, that's true, but not near as famous as the chief of orthopedics here, Dr. Adrian Flatt. Of course, he specialized in hands. That's why I thought the inscription was very appropriate.
Certainly an honor to be among Dwight Eisenhower, Harry Truman, the astronauts, other famous athletes and actresses in various professions.
I think somebody made a mistake somewhere, Bill. However, partner, do let me say this. I've got some of the greatest friends here at Baylor. As you recall, Mike was very near death right here in this magnificent facility. And we've become great friends with all these different folks, from the president, Boone Powell Jr., Dr. Flatt, and Susan Allen, who's Boone's secretary. They just all become our family. And then a very short time ago, Kerry had the very bad motorcycle accident. And of course, Kerry came here. We wouldn't consider going anywhere else in this world for medical treatment than Baylor Medical Center right here. And to have my hands displayed like this, partner, that's stomping in tall cotton. I'll tell you, with 5 presidents, Stallbox in here, and all the astronauts, and some beautiful, fine surgeons, I'm very flattered.
We'd like to thank Dr. Adrian Flatt and the staff here at the Baylor University Medical Center. And the hands are on display in the showcases here at Truett Hospital.